And one of the things that's talked a lot about in terms of industries is these provisions called Buy America. We have laws that call Buy America, and I think it's especially important when we're spending taxpayer dollars on propping up an industry that it have strong provisions that do so. What's called the infrastructure bill has $5 billion of American taxpayer funds to build electric vehicle charging stations in the United States. And it has, in that bill, embedded very specific Buy American requirements, that those funds may be used only so that all the iron, the steel, the manufactured products, the construction materials that are used are produced in the United States. It's very simple. It's pretty straightforward. That's what the law reads, both a broader law that already exists and then the provisions of this bill. The Biden administration, after passing this, however, didn't just fail to implement this provision. They were almost a year late in even issuing any findings on it, but they've now come out with this waiver. A waiver of that Buy American requirement that allows foreign-made EV chargers, translation Chinese-made electric vehicle chargers, up until October of 2024. But there's more. They actually give the Federal Highway Administrator the ability to extend that deadline by 5 years. And so we are now facing, under this waiver they're requesting, the real prospect that significant portions of the $5 billion that are going to go to electric vehicle charging stations are going to be spent on Chinese companies. Taxpayer dollars. So we're either serious about restoring America's industrial capabilities or we're not. We should be especially serious about it when we're spending federal funds on it. Now, I've watched some of the debate, some of the things the administration's telling people, about how somehow this is going to be the opposite effect. There's this 1983 general regulation that they've written, waiver that they have in place. Everyone knows here that specific statutory language, such as that exists both in this bill and in other law, supersedes any of these. But the other is very simple. The administration, as they've done with a bunch of other regulations, can either amend it or get rid of this. But they're using that as a threat. What they're basically telling people is, if you vote for this, if this thing passes, we will interpret that 1983 general provision to just do anything we want with regards to this. So it's pretty straightforward. Get rid of it. Don't use it that way. Commit yourself to rebuilding American industry and American jobs. The bottom line is this. You can play all the jiu-jitsu games you want with regards to language. The bottom line is this. If we're going to spend $5 billion of taxpayer money to build electric vehicle charging stations in the United States, it should be made by Americans in America using American products.
My dear friends, please watch out for this. Deposits are happening today. The SSA has begun sending out this month's payments to recipients. Checks will be worth as much as $1,800 and will be automatically deposited. But Congress is also preparing for a battle over Medicare and Social Security budget cuts. My dear friends, please do me a big favor and watch until the end of this video to find out more about this. Also, every Friday, I will be announcing several winners for the Walmart gift card giveaway. If you would like to enter the weekly giveaway, friends, please click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, dearest friends, the greater your chances of winning these giveaways. Month after month, the SSA sends benefits to millions of Americans, and according to the SSA, nearly 70 million payments are issued each month. As for November payments, the SSA has already begun sending them out. Today, recipients with a date of birth from the 1st to the 10th will be receiving their monthly payment. This year, the average payment for retirees has been $1,848. But this number will likely change in the near future. According to Yahoo News, Democrats are intensifying their focus on House Speaker Mike Johnson's support for substantial cuts to entitlements. This heightened scrutiny comes as the new speaker champions a deficit commission, potentially bring attention to this issue in the lead-up to the 2024 election. President Biden has criticized congressional Republicans for their desire to reduce the program, while experts on budgeting acknowledge the unsustainability of Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security in their current structure. Most Republicans are wary of the political repercussions of scaling back these benefits. House Speaker Johnson, during his tenure as chairman of the Republican Study Committee, advocated for trillions of dollars in cuts. In his inaugural House speech as Speaker, Mike Johnson emphasized that the national debt poses the greatest threat to national security. He pledged to form a bipartisan debt commission promptly. The concept of a 16-member debt commission, focusing on the solvency of Medicare and Social Security, was initially proposed by former Speaker Kevin McCarthy within debt limit negotiations. So although entitlements have long been a politically sensitive issue, some within the GOP sought to leverage debt ceiling negotiations to secure commitments for reducing entitlement expenditures. Currently, Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security collectively constitute almost half of the entire federal budget, amounting to a total annual cost of $2.7 trillion. The Commission's recommendations would be granted priority consideration by Congress. However, the final vote would be scheduled for the lame duck session immediately following the 2024 election, creating a significant disconnect between representatives and voters. Despite objections from the White House, Speaker McCarthy's proposal was eventually incorporated into a stopgap government funding bill that was presented in September. This bill aimed to reduce discretionary spending for most domestic programs by nearly 30%. Nonetheless, the bill failed to progress due to internal discord within the House GOP, and the commission was excluded from the legislation that ultimately sustained government funding through mid-November. But Speaker Johnson remains resolute. He told reporters, "I believe we're going to see thoughtful bipartisan discussions on this matter. This is a top priority for me, and I intend to act on it immediately." Although Speaker Johnson indicated that he does not intend to dictate goals or benchmarks, Democrats and left-leaning advocacy groups argued that his track record speaks for itself. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries criticized Mike Johnson, highlighting his role in attempting to overturn the 2020 presidential election and his desire to reshape Social Security and Medicare. Max Rittman, president of the National Committee to Preserve Social Security and Medicare, expressed disappointment in Johnson's establishing a mechanism which is intended to reduce programs funded by American workers. In his role as RSC chair in 2020, Mike Johnson authored a budget advocating for an increase in Medicare and Social Security eligibility ages. The budget proposed $2 trillion in Medicare cuts and $750 billion in Social Security reductions. And earlier in the year, the RSC, currently chaired by Representative Kevin Hern, proposed gradually raising the Social Security retirement age to 69 years old. But despite its significant representation within the Republican Party, some members dismissed the seriousness of the RSC's proposed plans, considering them historically non-implemented. So, dear friends, what are your thoughts about Speaker Johnson wanting to increase the retirement age? Please let me know what your thoughts are in the comments section below. Well, my awesome and amazing friends, thank you, friends, for being part of this community. I will be announcing several winners this coming Friday for the Walmart gift card giveaway. If you would like to enter the weekly giveaway, friends, all you have to do is click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, friends, the greater your chances of winning the giveaways. Thank you and have a wonderful and very blessed day.